Okay, I need to express here 240 as a product of prime factors using index notation. So there's a couple of ways I could do this. I could do it like this and say that at the start I've got 240. Now what I'm going to do is divide it by 2 to get 120. Now that's even again because it ends in a 0, so I'm going to divide it by 2 again to give 60. Again even, so I'll divide it by 2 to give 30. Again it's even, so I divide it by 2 to give 15. Now it's odd, I need to think of a different number, so I know that 3 goes into 15. I know it goes in 5 times. 3 times 5 would give me the 15. And then last of all, I know that 1 times 5 gives me 1. So, sorry, 1 times 5 gives me 5, so I'm left with just 1 at the end. So that means that my answer is going to be 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. So that's 4 lots of 2 times 3 times 5 to give me the 240. That's one way of doing it. And the second method is you might start off with 240 at the start and then split it up into two numbers that multiply to give it. So 2 and 120. I know 2 is prime, so I'll circle it. And then I've got 2 times 60. 2 is prime, so I circle it. 2 times 30. 2 is prime, so I circle it. 2 times 15 gives me 30, so I circle it. And to get 15, it's 3 times 5, and both of those are prime. So again, I've got 4 2's. So that's 2 to the power 4 times 3 times 5, and that would give me the 240 as well. So that's expressing my 240 as a product of my prime factors using index notation. Index notation just meaning powers. For part B then, it asks to evaluate the reciprocal of 0.9, so we need to think about what that word reciprocal means, and state whether this is greater or less than 0.9. Well, if we think about what the reciprocal means that we would flip that 0.9 upside down. So that's the same as saying 1 over 0.9. But that's quite difficult to do 1 divided by a decimal 0.9, so can I put it in a different form? Well, if I think 0.9 as a fraction is the same as, how many tenths have I got? I've got 9. So that's 9 tenths. So if I was to find the reciprocal of 9 tenths, that would just be flipping that fraction upside down, 10 ninths. So 10 ninths would be my reciprocal of 0.9. And because the 10 is bigger than 9, if I was to write that as a mixed number, how many 9s are in 10? There's 1 with 1 left over. So that's 1 and 1 ninth. So if I've got to state whether it's greater or less than 0.9, I know that 1 and 1 ninth is greater than 0.9, which we know is 9 tenths. Just used the wrong symbol there. So if I wanted to write that in words, just to clarify, the 1 and 1 ninths is greater, so just use the greater symbol above, than 9 tenths. And that would be your 2 marks.